Hello. It's cold now. And in today's video, we're going to talk about a budget breakdown for the 8HP70 swap. And we're going to be using, obviously, my 2JZ and my 240SX, my S14, as a basis for the purchase amount and just everything that went into the build. To get started, assuming you guys have already got your power plant situated, obviously mine's a 2JZ, you guys could have an LS, whatever. I'm not going to do an exact purchase amount, I guess. Obviously, my amount's probably going to be a lot less than some of yours because I have the tools and stuff necessary to be able to do some things for free technically. Basically, we're going to start out with the actual gearbox itself. So, the 8HP70. Now, there are a bunch of different variances. Obviously, if you guys are going for the 8HP70 from the BMWs, which is more sought after because of the smaller bell housing, they are more available on the other side of the sea, and because of that, they are also much more expensive. If you guys are fresh here and you guys don't know, the newer Dodges, the Chrysler, a lot of the Chryslers and stuff, the Jeep Grand Cherokees, the Dodge Rams, the Charger, the Challenger, anything that has like a 6.4 liter or a 5.7 Hemi, like any of those from the Dodge, will also have an 8HP70. Those are the Mopar versions. The bell housings are a little bit larger, but all the internals, physically, they're all the same. The bell housing's the only thing that's different. They're cast different because they're supposed to fit a bigger engine. Those are so much more widely available because they're stolen. And they're much easier to get because they're stolen. You can find part outs for the Scat Packs, the Challenger RTs, any of the 6.4 liter cars. If we go into the Hellcat versions, those are the 8HP90. They're actually a lot beefier, but they're physically bigger also. Bell housings are the same size, but the actual gearbox portion of it is actually physically larger. Any of those gearboxes you can find on the marketplace. You can find them in part outs. There's a lot of Scat Pack part outs and stuff that you guys can go and find. Prices will vary. Some people think they have a gold mine when they really don't. I personally actually found my gearbox for sale in Chicago. The guy wanted $750 for it, and he ended up taking $600. So I got my transmission for $600. So there we go. We start out, bam, $600. Now, the next thing you guys are going to probably want is the actual control unit. Now, a lot of people will go to the Max ECU, which will control both. But if you're like me and you have an ECU Master Black, or you're already running an engine control unit and you have all the wiring and everything already for it, for me, I'm running an ECU Master Black, and I did not want to have to get another ECU and then redo my engine harness. Now, I built my own harness, so it's not a big problem. But I really just wanted to have a secondary option. I wanted the transmission to run on its own thing. I didn't want to mess with my engine stuff. So I ended up getting a turbo Lambic. I also did not buy it brand new from the website. So brand new, they're running about $2,500. I ended up driving, when I was on my way to get this gearbox, I stopped and was able to pick up my turbo Lambic. It was the complete kit, so it has the wiring and everything in it. I was able to pick up the turbo Lambic and stuff for $2,000. So $2,000 flat, that saved me $500. So we're at $2,000. Now we're looking for deals, okay? From this point, it's not really much of deal finding. It's more of I got to sacrifice and deal with the cost of certain purchases. So I've got the transmission and got the control unit. Now we got to make the gearbox to the engine. And we have also got to make the transmission to the rear end. And we also have to mate the transmission to the bottom of the car. What we have done is we got the Dummy Works adapter kit, which was like $1,150 or something. You guys can find some people who will cut some deals, some people who are dealers for the company. Actually, I think I got mine for $1,050, so saved a little bit there. So that you can't really do much. There's no way around getting the Dummy Works adapter. So I got the Dummy Works adapter for the Dodge Mopar, Scat Pack, Challenger, Dodge bell housing to the 2JZ. So it's the billet adapter with the flywheel kit for the torque converter and everything. I ended up getting that, and there we go. We've got the transmission mated to the engine. The next thing was to mate the actual engine mate the engine and gearbox to the bottom of the car. The mounts, the actual cross member for the transmission, those are extremely expensive. We're talking like $2,000 plus, and because they've got a grasp on the market. There's not other companies making them for my specific car. So I was able to just custom make mine because I am a fabricator. So everything I build, I fabricate, I weld, I cut, you know, I do all of that stuff myself. So I was able to just save $2,000 there, which is substantial. Like, that's a lot of money for a build. When it, like, if the build is like $7 grand, $2,000 is a pretty big chunk, pretty big portion of that budget. So I was able to just save $2,000. Now, if you guys are looking, I mean, I don't know the value and the price of mounting to the bottom of any other chassis. You guys are going to have to look at the prices of that. We're just going to be based off of what we got here. It's probably going to be something similar in the probably same range budget. Now we've got the transmission mated to the engine. I got it mounted in the car with my custom mount. We're looking for the actual drive shaft. For me, I was able to go to Shaft Masters, and they just custom made me one. It was a length to length with certain yokes for my rear end, and to the I have a Dummy Works adapter hub for a typical 1350 flange yoke on the drive shaft. So I've got the yoke adapter, which was $350. You don't need that if you can find someone to make it to the actual Scat Pack flange, if you guys are going to run the Scat Pack 8 HP. But for me, I ran the actual yoke, which ran me another $350. And then the drive shaft itself was, I believe, $780 shipped. So, which isn't bad. That's pretty much the typical running price for a drive shaft. And it's just aluminum. So we're at $780 for that, $350 for the Dummy Works yoke adapter. We've got saved $2,000 on the actual cross member, $2,000 for the actual turbo Lambic, which is the full kit. So we saved $500 there, and then $600 for the actual transmission. So we're looking at fluids and stuff. For me, I just went on eBay and I was able to find an OEM style, OEM support trans filter, and then I ran modal fluid. So that ran me about $130 for the filter and all the fluid, which was 9 liters. So brand new fluid, and we were good to go. This is a low mile gearbox, so about 25,000 miles, and it still had fluid in it. So we drained it, checked it out, it looked good. And yeah, so now all that stuff's all in there. Got the fluid and everything in. Drive shaft ran. Now we're looking at actual shift controls. So you guys can run a BMW shifter, which is like $70, I think. It's like one of the cheapest options you can get, which is a plug and play to the turbo Lambic itself. There's an actual connector that will plug into the shifter, and it will allow all the functions to work: the drive, reverse, neutral, park. All that stuff will work. For me, I went to the actual DCT shifter, which is the sequential shifter that you guys see. And it's not something you guys have to have. If you guys are just running on a full budget, you can just get that little shifter like I said. For me, I did the sequential, and that ran me about $550 for the actual sequential. And I got the 270 GT, which is the short version. The longer ones will run you a little bit more, and if you want the carbon one, it's obviously a little bit more than that. I also have the paddle shifters, which is just an extra option that I wanted, and that ran me about $400. So that was like the full kit deal for me to be able to run paddle shifters and everything in line with the sequential. There's going to be a gap in knowledge here. So for me, I'm able to tune all my own stuff and everything. So for those of you that do not have that knowledge for tuning and everything, you guys are actually going to have to pay for a tuner to be able to tune the engine and the transmission, because the engine will need to be adjusted to be able to meet the torque multiplication and the way the transmission delivers power. The transmission itself will also need to be tuned. A lot of it can be a lot of it is fully automated. So the transmission and the turbo Lambic itself, it's intelligent, so it does learn as you drive. But there's going to be some things that's just not the same. For me, being an inline 6, it's pretty much similar to the BMW i6 when they're turbocharged. So a lot of the 8 HPs and stuff, the base tune, the base map will come from the actual petrol inline 6 with the turbo. So a lot of the torque power, like a lot of the power curve is pretty similar with the inline 6s. If you guys are coming from an LS or something, or like a rotary, it's going to be substantially different. An LS produces so much more power, so you're going to have some torque multiplication added down low that we typically wouldn't have. With the rotary, it's going to be so much more insane. You're going to have a lot more pulled out of it, because the rotary does not make any power until boost comes in. So things like that you guys are going to have to think about. But for me, what are we doing? I'd say for me, it ran me We got $600 for the gearbox, $2,000 for the turbo Lambic, which is $2,600. We got $550 for the shifter. We're at $3,100. We got the transmission, which the actual cross member, which would have been $2,000, which would have put us over $5,000. Saved money, so we're still at $3,100. We have the drive shaft, which ran me $780. We'll round it up to $800, so that's about $3,900. Got the Dummy Works adapter, which was $1,100. Put us up around $5,000. And yeah, I think that's yeah, we got the extra stuff, the actual yoke and stuff, which another $350 for the yoke. It'll put us around $5,400, and then the paddles if you guys want to run that. So I did the swap for a little under $6,000. You're looking at substantially more, obviously, for those things that we just talked about. If you guys don't have any idea on tuning and stuff, if you guys have no idea what you're doing there, you're going to spend some money for trans tuning and then also engine tuning. And also for the cross member, you're going to be looking at a crazy amount of money. So yeah, we're looking pretty good. We saved quite a bit of money going looking for deals. You guys got to just keep your eyes peeled out there. Obviously, if the transmission looks like it's cheap, it's because it is. Because they're all freaking hot. And I guarantee it. There's no way they're not. So, a little under $6,000. I did the entire swap on the 240. And yeah, pretty decent price for a very much worth it swap. If you guys have been watching a lot of the other videos, you guys have been seeing how it performs and everything and how it reacts. So, greatest gearbox I've ever done. It is just hands down my favorite thing ever. So yeah, that's the budget breakdown. I'll be doing another video on questions. If you guys have any questions at all, like, I got a couple questions. I'm going to answer, like bell housing size and how much should I have to massage the actual trans tunnel and stuff like that. Any questions at all, you put them down below. I'll answer them in the question video, so I'll go through and I'll answer everything just outright. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I'm going to have to look at. I'm going to have to write it all down so I can just answer them all one after the other. Any questions at all, drop them down below. But yeah. Drop a like for the video. I know that a lot of you guys are going to be watching this, all the 8HP fanatics. I'm an 8HP fanatic myself now. But yeah, if you guys are brand new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and drop a like. It helps get the videos out. And yeah, hopefully I can see you guys in the next one. Got a couple weeks left. Got to get this car completely ripped apart. Got to get it to the body shop for paint and everything. So I think that's the last step for the 8HP trans, the build series, the car's complete conversion. So once again, I said in the last video, hopefully I can keep you guys here with my charisma. I hope to see you guys all back, and yeah, hope you guys can stick around to check out some of the builds and be here for the next builds. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Have a great one.